Hi everyone, so my name is Nim and I was thinking about recording a video like this like a couple of weeks or months ago because I saw like a similar style of content on YouTube and I really liked it, and I thought, you know what, I could my favorite thing in the world is poetry and analyzing poems and talking about how it affects people and how it affects life. And I thought, it's just such a beautiful day in autumn today, and I thought, if I never start this, I'm never gonna record a video. Like, it's really it's really scary, and even now I think the lighting is on all sort of angles and it's very shady, like it's very dappled, the light, so it comes in like, I don't even know if you can see me properly, but I hope you can hear me, which is the main thing. I'm at uni and yeah, the sun's shining really brightly and I feel very autumnal. So so what I wanted basically was to share poems that I found really interesting, and this is one of my favorite poems, and it's helped me a lot this past year, this past couple of months. So I'll just say it. I'm just gonna start reading it. This poem's called The Thing Is, and it's by a poet called Ellen Bass, I think. Alright. The thing is, to love life, to lose it even. No, wait. To love life, to love it even, when you have no stomach for it, and everything you've held dear crumbles like burnt paper in your hands, your throat filled with the silt of it. When grief sits with you, its tropical heat, thickening the air, heavy as water, more fit for gills than lungs. When grief weighs you like your own flesh, only more of it, an obesity of grief, you think, how can a body withstand this? Then you hold life like a face between your palms, a plain face, no charming smile, no violet eyes, and you say, yes, I will take you, I will love you again. So that's the poem. That last little bit is my favorite stanza. I think one of my favorite stanzas in the world, maybe. You know, that when she says, then you hold life like a face. I can almost imagine like you holding someone's face, like maybe like a child's face or even your own face, and you hold it, and it's not like a charming face or an extraordinary face, it's just a plain face, and you hold it and you say, you know what, I'm gonna take you. You have, like, you've given me a lot of grief and you've given me a lot of pain, but I'm gonna take you and I'm gonna love you again. And I just think that's beautiful, that imagery. And I almost think, even if it says to love life, I think it also means to love yourself. Like, you know, like you look at yourself in the mirror and then you say, you know what, I'll take you. You know, you're not too bad. You're kind of alright. And I think sometimes when people say, you know, when something's in life's going hard and people are like, oh, you know what, it'll be okay. Like, I've heard of this thing called toxic positivity, which is like when people push down this idea of always being positive and always being happy, even when life is hurtful, painful, heavy. And I think sometimes it sucks. I think it's kind of like, you know, when you're feeling sad, if someone's like, oh, just don't worry, be happy, it's not going to help, you know. I think sometimes sitting with the pain is just as important, like accepting it, you know, sitting with that grief that's thick as water. I think that's important, and I think accepting it, like taking that, like saying, you know what, like life is not just positive and it's not all sunny days, and there'll be days that are grey and dreary. Maybe I should have recorded this on a rainy day in winter, but you know, there'll be days when you've got a zit on your face, or your coffee spills down your coat. That's happened to me once or twice, and then you get a fine from the train inspector, or like you run into an ex, when you have like terrible hair, and everything that could go wrong goes wrong. And I mean, all the things I'm listing are superficial things, but like there are days when it's really hard to love life, and people say, oh, like life is good, but it's hard to see that. And I think in those days, especially in those days, I think about this poem, and I think about how, I don't think no one's owed a perfect sort of life, and no one ever said that this is going to be all rosy and all uphill. But I think sometimes when you just learn to accept it, in both the good and the bad, how when you get married to a person, you're like, I'll take you in sickness and in health, in wealth and in richness and poorness. I don't really know how the wedding vows go, but they say, I'll take you for better or for worse. And I think that's just life. That's life too. Like, that's what this poem is saying. Like, your commitment to life should be like your commitment to a partner. And I think it's nice to remember that, to let life be in all its awfulness and all its messiness. I think it sort of frees us from this need to always be put together and always be perfect and always have a positive life. You don't need that. You can just love this. You just have to accept it, I think. Alright, anyway, I hope that ramble sort of made sense, and I hope you like this video. I think sometimes I really enjoy it myself. Like, this is sort of therapy for me, like just sharing these poems. And even if one person likes it, or maybe someone is just getting into poetry, and maybe I would like, sometimes I think you just need to hear the right poem or the right book or the right sentence, and it just changes your entire perspective on poems and on everything. So maybe I can be that poet messenger for you, or that poetry channel. And I also write poetry, so maybe I'll start a blog or something and put that there, although it's nothing compared to these poems, obviously. I should preface it with that. But anyway, I hope you liked it, and I hope you have a really nice week ahead. It's a really nice Sunday here in Melbourne. I hope wherever you are, it's just as sunny.